Britain,
Common
England
law.
created the modern world, the Industrial Revolution. We had the biggest empire ever known to mankind. We're the only empire that ever dissolved peacefully. At the height of American slavery on the plantations in Alabama, those slaves lived 9 years longer than English people in the north of England.
Are we proud of the country or not? Is it, we're happy talking about it, but we don't really know necessarily, is there something to be proud of? Got to admit, I read that book, put the book down, and I just felt patriotic.
Yeah.
Far more. Come away from it, the way you put it, just got me a little bit more fired up about England. There's obviously some of the stuff you had in it. And obviously that's the point when we were talking about, men being cowards, maybe men leaving the country, men not wanting to fix problems. But you're not going to fix something that you're not proud of, are you? Because if you've no pride in something,
Exactly.
you're going to let it die, or whatever. It's just like a beat-up car. If you
Yeah.
bang it, you don't give a fuck, do you?
Yeah.
But yeah, thoroughly enjoyed it for that. Really come away with it. You put some stuff in it. Obviously, there's some harsh words in it. There's some when you were going on about weak Englishmen. There's some of them points I've done it.
Yeah. And we all have.
Yeah.
We all have. I'm not perfect. A lot of those things I know are true because I made those mistakes.
Yeah.
I'm trying to be a better version of me than I was yesterday, last year, a decade ago. So this isn't me criticising Englishmen because they're not good enough. It's me criticising Englishmen going, we all can be better. All of us should be better.
Yeah.
And just look at our ancestors. Look what our ancestors did. It's all about in the book, we created the modern world.
Yeah.
Britain,
Common
England
law.
created the modern world, the Industrial Revolution. We had the biggest empire ever known to mankind. All the countries, we didn't invade them per se, because we didn't have a big army. We went to our countries to trade, and then we took them over by using the establishments that were there because they knew we would give them a better quality of life. That's how we took over India. Half the Rajas signed up to the British, and we defeated the other Rajas. But it was Indian soldiers fighting those wars. And then when we're the only empire that ever dissolved peacefully, that we walked away from all those countries peacefully, and then all those countries said, "Do you know what? We love you guys. Can we start a new club? Let's call it the Commonwealth." No other empire ever had a Commonwealth because all those other empires, when they fell, they were hated.
Yeah.
They were hated by those countries. We weren't. And I'm not saying we did everything that was right.
No, definitely some bad shit went on.
But that happened everywhere. That was happening here.
Yeah.
Do you know that at the height of American slavery on the plantations in Alabama, those slaves lived 9 years longer than English people in the north of England?
Why?
They had better lives than the men and the women who lived in the north of England.
Why is it that the north of England gets so much fucking shit?
It's because it's away from London. You go out of
Is
London.
that just it? Like,
But the weather, poverty,
Is it the jobs as well? Like if you
well,
coal mining,
there's mining here and stuff like that.
rough work, and tough men.
Yeah. So when the British Empire may have done some bad things, we're told now it's because we're evil.
yeah, no.
We were treating English people like that here. No,
That doesn't make it better, though.
no, but life was hard for everybody.
Yeah.
It
was 200 years ago. No one had fucking running water in the house.
Exactly, 99% of people, had it bad. And, were dying at 45.
Even the guys in the top positions of power don't have it as good as me, you, or Dan do right now.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Not even close.
Exactly. But, we had it bad here. And we did some amazing things. Most of the medicines and vaccines of the world were created here. Most of science was invented here. We created the World Wide Web, the internet, the jet engine. And everything, nearly everything was created here. We created the modern world.
Yep.
And we gave the world our language. The world language is English. Anyone thank us for it? We gave the world
They hate us for it.
Apart from basketball, we've given the world nearly every sport. All those sports were created here. Boxing, tennis, badminton, football, the world sport, football. Who created the modern Olympics? We did in London in 1822, I think it was. It may have started 1,000 years ago in Greece, 2,000 years, but we created the modern Olympics.
Really?
The world owes us so many thank yous. Who stopped the world transatlantic trade, slave trade? We
Yeah,
did.
we did, yeah.
We didn't capture any black Africans and sell them as slaves. Black kings were capturing their neighbours, selling them into slavery because they've been doing it for 10,000 years. We just started, Westerners, the Portuguese started buying black slaves. And then one day the English decided, this can't go on. This is unchristian. So then we started campaigns to end slavery. We ended it across the British Empire. And how did we end it through the British Empire? We ended it by buying the freedom of every slave. It cost us billions of pounds in today's money. And we got a loan out to pay that. And do you know when we stopped paying that loan off?
It wasn't long ago, was it?
2015.
Yeah.
So everyone alive today, if you're alive in 2015, some of your taxes were paying reparations to slaves because we bought the freedom of everybody in the British Empire. And then we spent more money patrolling the high seas.
You can't call it reparations, though. They were buying the slaves, weren't they, off the slave masters?
It was a reparation to those slaves. They got the freedom.
Yeah, okay, I see what you're saying.
Yeah. We shouldn't pay reparation to their descendants.
No, fuck no.
They were never slaves.
No.
Yeah.
Outrageous call.
Yeah, they did. But so we then patrolled the high seas and we stopped the transatlantic slave trade. And then we stopped the Arabs taking slaves and buying slaves in Africa. And that was some of the reasons why we invaded some of the African countries, was to stop the slave trade. Some of the kings of some of the African countries were writing to Parliament and to Queen Victoria, demanding we reinstate the slave trade. It's their right to sell slaves. It's their right to take their neighbours as slaves. We've been doing it. This is our culture. It's our right to do it. We've got the letters now in museums and writing these things. Africans didn't want to stop the slave trade. And many countries didn't want to, but we used our force and our navy to stop the Western world dealing in slaves. And unfortunately, there's more black slaves alive today than ever before in history, because Africans never stopped enslaving each other.
Yeah.
Does Black Lives Matter ever talk about that?
Fuck no.
Does anyone have marches about that? No. So we ignore all the slaves that were alive today, and race baiters and grifters bang on about slavery 200 years ago and who did wrong and who owes money. If they were genuine, they'd be banging on about the Africans who are enslaved today, and we do nothing about it.
All those kids and women in the cobalt mines in the
Yep.
Congo.
Yep.
I presume you've seen those videos.
I've seen the videos, yeah.
How anyone can complain about old-time slavery compared to
Yeah.
that.
Well, a couple of years ago, you could go to Libya.
Yes, they had auctions live on YouTube.
Yes, they did. And you can still see those videos now.
Yeah.
And that was a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was as Gaddafi was falling, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Or he'd fallen. I
It'd
think.
fallen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was, honestly, it was absolutely fucking wild.
Yeah, on the coast of Europe.
Yeah.
So we need to be proud of who we are and what we've achieved. What we're going through at the moment is a blip. We're going to get over this. I'm very confident. I'm very optimistic. This is a blip. When the history of this country and this island is written, this will just be seen as a bit of a negative blip, just like the 1970s were. Things are changing. Things have been changing for several years now. Things are feeling worse, and they're going to get worse for the next couple of years. But the ground is changing. The people have had enough.
It feels that way.
Yeah, woke's dying. Trump's been a blessing. Europe's turning to the right. We're just stuck with this Labour government for the next couple of years. But big change is coming, and we'll see better days ahead. But for that to come quicker, we all need to do something about it. We need to take some responsibility. But we're an amazing island. I think the whole chapter is dedicated on why you should be proud of this island.
Yeah.
I really there's lots of books you can go and read all the history, you know, and you've obviously repeated some of it. I'm sure you could find it in other books, but the way you've put it in between a couple of other stories of what's going wrong it's great just to learn a little. I had no idea. Tom had actually, I was telling Tom, so you should wait till you get to this bit, and it was the beginning of the Royal Navy.
Yeah.
And Tom had already knew,
Yeah.
I didn't know.
Yeah.
And I thought, what a fantastic story. What a cool English story, like how that come about is, you know, saving slavery. Just all these little things, just be proud of the country for. You know, and
Well, the country has a wealth of history, doesn't it?
Yeah,
and,
of
and nobody
course.
knows any of it.
No.
So then
No.
we're easy to be lied to because we don't know anything else.
Is that deliberate?
Yes.